Hey guys, Bloodstar Witches here. I'm Storm.
Hi, I'm Hazel. Tonight we're going to show you how to properly inscribe and dress a candle for a particular magical purpose. We are going to actually do a protection candle. For this we chose a black candle.
Black is normally used for, well, it's used for a lot of different things, but truth, warding off negativity, new beginnings, and black just kind of speaks to us, so we're going to use black. But feel free to use any color candle that speaks to you. If blue is your protective color, then feel free to use that.
So the first thing that we're going to do is inscribe the candle. I'm going to write the word protection on there. However, I'm going to use a magical alphabet called Theban. Now there is, quite a few different magical alphabets.
You have Passing the River, you have Theban, you have Runic. I mean, there's, plenty of alphabets that you can use, but the one of my family craft that we use the most is Theban, so we'll be using that tonight.
So you take your athame.
If you guys don't know what an athame is, it's a black handled knife used to direct energy within a circle. Sometimes also used, depending on tradition, to inscribe candles. Some traditions they use a boline, which is a white handled knife, but I like to use my athame because I like the energy that I raise in all of my magical workings to be put into my candles. But that's just my preference. Everybody's, different.
Now you don't have to have perfect writing, as long as you're putting your intention into it.
And another note on intention, strong intention and will equals successful magic. So, even though, I said this in my last video, even though, your ingredients do play a part, don't worry too much on that. Just focus on your intention, make sure it's strong, make sure you have, if you have a god and goddess, make sure you draw from that, and you ask them to guard and guide you through the process of inscribing or even blessing or anointing the candle.
Along with protection, I'm also putting our names in here, which is Storm and Hazel. That will add to the purpose.
It also makes it more personal too. It's not
correct.
just general protection. It's towards the two of us. So.
And I know another thing that Storm likes to do is to add a pentacle onto the candle. So I'm going to let him do that.
Added protection. Now, again, you don't have to even put a pentagram. You can put the dragon's eye, you can put an anka, you can put any kind of magical symbol that speaks to you. And if you don't want to put one at all, you don't even have to put one. Again, it's all about intention, guys.
And say if you're making perhaps a money candle, you could put a dollar sign. Depending on what you're doing, there's all kinds of different things you can inscribe on the candle.
So, sorry about the lighting, guys, but this is the finished product. Have our names on the bottom. Have protection in Theban on top with our pentacle. So now, I'm going to sit here and infuse it with my energy, and then she can infuse it with her energy. Blessed be.
Blessed be.
So at this point, guys, we have some herbs here laid out. We have some mullein leaf, We have some vervain, we have some St. John's wort, we have some angelica root, some elderberry, some eucalyptus, and even some horehound. Like I said earlier, you can use any oil you want, any herbs you want, things that speak to you. The reason I like vervain is it really aids me personally in warding off negative and evil and chaotic energies and forces and spirits and demons and things in my day-to-day and night-to-night life that don't pertain to me, that I don't want, that I want to rid or banish. So that's why I like to use that, you know. And elderberry, you know, Maria loves elderberry just because of the fact that, you know, it speaks to her. She feels connected to that.
Another one I really like is the eucalyptus, which also has multiple properties to it.
Healing. Healing's a big one.
Yes, it does do well with healing.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add equal parts of each to my mortar and pestle cue. I place this mullein leaf to aid us in this working. Notice how we take turns back and forth so both of our energies are mixed into these herbs.
I add vervain to aid us in this working.
I add St. John's wort to aid us in this working.
I add angelica root to aid us in this working.
I add elderberries to aid us in this working.
I add eucalyptus to aid us in this working.
And to finish it off, I add horehound to aid us in this working. I charge these herbs with my power, for I am thine child storm.
I charge these, for I am thine child Hazel.
Now I'm going to proceed to crush these and blend them all together. While doing so, you want to think of nothing but protection for yourself or for the individual that you're doing the spell for. So there's multiple ways to do this. You know, you can imagine a strong shield of a protective color around that individual or around yourself or even around your house or property. And, you know, you're almost kind of pounding that intention into these herbs. And so...
as you know, all herbs have many different properties. So you just want to feel which one will be right for you and your workings and your intentions.
Okay, so now we're going to move these out of the way for now. And what I'm going to do is I have some sandalwood oil here, which is really good for strengthening, it's really good for protection, it's really good for exorcism work, it's really good for warding off negative spirits and entities and just nasty energies that you pick up on a day-to-day basis. So I'm going to anoint the candle with this. Now, whenever you're anointing a candle, you want to start from the center out on both sides. So from here out, okay? If it's a tea light, obviously you can't do that, but with most candles, that's the proper way of doing this. So.
And on this one, we're actually going to use a little bit more essential oil because the herbs we're going to be using are a little coarse. And we want them to stick to the candle itself.
Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour these herbs out kind of in a row and make it about this thick. That way when you roll it, it goes all the way around the candle. So you just spread out the herbs. As you're thinking of nothing but protection.
Candle magic is actually one of my favorite because there's so many different things you can use candles for.
Very true.
And there's so many different ways you can do them also.
So now that I have the candle in my hand, I'm going to go outward to each end. Then I'm going to take the candle and I'm going to allow Maria to roll it in the herbs. Smell? Sure. Okay. Now one thing you do have to keep in mind is you're not going to get an even coat of herbs all the way around this candle. No one does. And that's fine because, again, it's all about your intention, and it's also going to make the candle unique.
Unique is always good.
And as I'm rolling it, I'm praying to my goddess that my wish be fulfilled. Now, as you can see, we have a very nice coat of our herbs around this candle. Now that it's finished, if you have a little dish, a pentacle dish on the altar, you can sit it on the altar and it'll charge it. So you want to charge it overnight. The longer the better. The more time it has to charge, the more powerful it will become. If you want to add extra strength to that, you can place it on the pentacle and you can add a quartz crystal. Make sure it's cleansed first and blessed. And prop that up against the candle so it gets the energy of the crystal. The crystal will act as a battery and it'll just charge that candle. And, you know, when you go to light it, you will have a very, very, very powerful protection candle. Anyway, guys, this is how you make it. If you liked our video, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you so much.
Blessings
Blessed
to
be.
you and yours.